Hello and welcome back to Cox Community Connection. As you can see, we have made it to our Pensacola studio where we're going to talk about a couple of events and programs going on in Escambia County now. And joining me first to talk about Escambia County events and programs is Andrea Krieger. She's the President and CEO of the United Way of Escambia County. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
First, let's talk about the launch of the campaign season.
Sure.
I know this is a major time of year for you guys as you're doing your fundraising. Talk to us a little bit about what the campaign is and how people can get involved.
You know, I think the biggest thing about United Way is we're kind of the safety net for the community. So we're constantly trying to figure out what the biggest needs are in the community and then match the resources of the community where we can have the most collaborative impact, leverage the greatest return, and we do that through our annual workplace campaign. So we have about 375 workplaces that work with us, and they agree to let their employees give the United Way, where we match their dollars through a very deliberate funds distribution process, and we match their resources of time and donations to needs in education, health, and financial stability, so that as a broad stroke, we can take care of the vast majority, 2 out of 3 citizens in Escambia County.
Now you mentioned the funds distribution. How is that process handled? Once the campaign is over and you received your pledges and your money, how does the United Way go about deciding what organization gets what funding?
Sure, I appreciate that question because I think there's a lot of confusion around that topic. That again is a very deliberate and measured process. Any organization that's a 501c3 that goes through a certification process where we determine they're meeting basic financial and fiduciary responsibilities as an organization, and that can meet desired outcomes in a community can apply to that fund. And after they submit an application, then anyone who donates or gives the United Way, they can actually go in and sit on a volunteer panel where they read those applications, they go to the locations so they can actually see the programs in action, and then they listen to oral presentations. And that way they can determine, okay, this is what they're saying they're going to do. I've seen them doing it. I know this is a need of the community, and this is where the dollars of the community can make the most difference. And then basically they duke it out. And I will tell you, they probably take those dollars and consider them more than they would their own gifts. It's just they take it very, very seriously. And so this year we had about 56 programs that applied and 44 will receive funding. And they have to report quarterly on, we got this much money this quarter and here's the impacts that we are having that we told you we were going to have.
So even after the United Way Distribution Committee gives them the funding, they still have to keep up with you throughout the year doing the reports, and you guys keep track, make sure they're using the money appropriately? Yes,
because you know, our world changes almost daily now, and sometimes the environment changes for those nonprofits too, and so it's our duty to make sure that as those monies are flowing into our community, that they're still being utilized the way that they said they were going to be utilized, and they're having the impact.
Absolutely. So what is the target for this year? What are you hoping to raise for this year?
A little over $2.4 million, which if we can do that, then we can meet those goals. And while we'd love to raise $10 million, those will help us meet the base needs and make sure we're that safety net.
And how long does the campaign go? When does it kick off, and then how long do people have to sign up?
We really, believe it or not, we're doing it all year long, but the kickoff will happen in September. So we'll have pretty much a solid quarter where we're working hard every day and where our campaign team is running as fast as they can. So traditionally through January, most of the workplaces have done their annual campaign and know pretty much what their employees are going to want to give. But it can happen before and after that. We're actually in the pace setter mode right now. So we have a few accounts that want to be the leaders for the campaign, and they've already signed up and their employees have already kicked off, and they will do that through August. So middle of August, we'll have our pace setters done and be ready to kind of launch.
And if there's an organization or a business out there that would like to get involved, how do they go about doing that?
We'll make it as easy as they want to make it. They can call the office. They call 434-3157, and that will get them through the main line. They can email myself or Laura, who is our campaign director, or Frank, who's our campaign coordinator, and we will get them all the materials that they need and answer any questions they may have about how do they do this and have fun and do it as a team building event for their employees.
We have about a minute left, so I want to switch gears real quick. I know you'll have another exciting event coming up in October, one that involves so many volunteers in Escambia County, and that's the Day of Caring. Can you give us a little information about that real quick?
Yeah, Day of Caring is the largest regional one-day volunteer event, and what we do is we have some of the nonprofits and some of the schools in town, they'll submit projects to us. Last year we had about 100 projects in the community, and then volunteers, last year a little over 1,300, are matched with those projects. So again, it can be team building, a lot of fun for workplaces, but more than that, it does an awful lot of good. Over 7,000 volunteer hours last year.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us and talking to us about the campaign and then of course the Day of Caring. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about a new kayak and barbecue festival taking place in Perdido Key.